Hey guys, it's Gregor, aka Captain Kirk, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Dreadnought. Now Dreadnought is a sci-fi action game being developed by Jaeger Developments, who were the guys responsible for Spec Ops: The Line back in 2012. So this is a noticeably different departure here from a shooter game to something like World of Spaceships. But it's interesting to see, considering that Spec Ops wasn't particularly marketed in terms of how good its multiplayer was. The game is in a closed beta state right now, and I feel like I have a good opportunity to talk about it here. Do keep in mind that everything I'm saying about the game is based off of its state as of the upload date. So think of it more like first impressions and my thoughts on where this game can go, rather than a full-fledged review. The basic idea behind Dreadnought is easy to summarize. You control a spaceship bristling with powerful types of weapons and technology, and duke it out with enemies with the same kinds of big ships as you. 2 teams of 5 with 5 classes of ship. These ship classes include Dreadnoughts, of course. They're big, they have big guns, and they have a ton of armor, so something akin to battleships in World of Warships. Destroyers, which aren't the way they are in World of Warships really, rather they're the midway point between armor and speed generally. Corvettes, which are very small and fragile, but quite fast and armed with heavy weapons. Artillery cruisers, basically glass cannons with long-range sniper weapons, and tactical cruisers, which are basically your logistics ships from EVE Online, if you ever played that game. They heal stuff, basically. The interplay between these ship classes is what I interpreted as an important component in Dreadnought's mechanics, especially since the teams are so small. Like League of Legends, it's almost immediately noticeable when a lopsided match is happening, and it's important for different ships to work with each other in certain ways. I've never seen a team of 4 Corvettes and a sniper win in this game. The balance of beef, healing, and other classes is important, but there's enough interesting characteristics regarding each ship in the game to ensure that they're all unique in certain aspects. For instance, I found a lot of fun playing the Morningstar Dreadnought. She's meant to get up close and personal with the enemy when possible, but she has plenty of counters. She can get sniped and harassed from more nimble aircraft at long ranges, and she's not nimble enough to peek around corners very quickly. She instead relies on a warp jump with a cooldown that allows her to close the distance and engage in select instances, a tractor beam that allows her to bring enemies closer to her, and a very, very powerful set of close-range broadside guns that spell game over for any poor saps unfortunate enough to be within firing distance of them. Now, the Morningstar is a so-called hero ship, which is basically a premium and can't be modified, but all the purchasable ships in this game can be modified in various ways. And note how I said modified and not upgraded. To me, this concept in a progression-based free-to-play game like Dreadnought is very important. Customization isn't a very noteworthy element of games like World of Tanks or Warships, and the ability to really make a ship that can function in a wide manner of ways, your own preference, is really, really cool to me. They're called loadouts. Here, you can take one type of ship that is normally a close-range cloaking assassin and make it into a long-range harasser. Additionally, the map design is interesting. It's important to use the terrain to your advantage to be effective in combat. I very often use large rock formations or buildings to block incoming locked-on missiles, for instance. And knowing when to back up and when to peek is an important element of flying dreadnoughts in duels. But the other thing I really like about this game so far, aside from its gameplay elements, is its artistic elements. There is a sort of sci-fi opera at play here with what appears to be interesting lore and characters, which I'm intrigued to see developed and expanded on in the future. The game starts out with a beautifully done opening sequence that sets up the game's lore-driven aspects, and seeing this massive metal beast lumber out of the dry dock set to a great soundtrack and well-acted sci-fi ambience put a smile on my face. Although the people in this game universe might want to unglue their mouths soon.
Lady through her paces. That's an order. Alright, now we're moving. City Bay STC, this is Bix. Be advised, we're launching the training vessel with a rookie captain.
Roger that, Bix. You're good to go. Have fun.
The game really does showcase the beauty of the Unreal Engine too, so much so that I even had to turn down my settings just a smidgen to get 60 frames across the board, which I don't consider too bad. There are still other elements I can enjoy. I love how the ship designs blend Kaldari vessels from EVE Online with gothic regalia and trimming a la Warhammer 40k one moment, and then go to rustic and blocky, or sleek, curved, and polished the next. Customization is also a very big aspect of this game, and you can give your ships a whole wide range of makeovers to make yourself truly stand out from the crowd, though not all the options are free, of course. This is where, hopefully, the payment-driven parts of Dreadnought will remain. It'd be a shame if this game was just another pay-to-win type of thing. But only time will tell if such a thing will occur. Still, I think the future looks bright for Dreadnought, and I wish Jaeger the best of luck in this venture. If you want to try Dreadnought out for yourself in the Early Access program, you can purchase a Founders Pack for either $10 or $40 US. Being mindful that since this game is so early in its inception, there shall be bugs, and there shall be some unfinished elements, but you're making an investment more than anything else. I can proudly say that I made my investment with a great deal of confidence. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe for more Dreadnought content in the future, and give it a thumbs up, it really does go a long way. I'm very eager to see where Dreadnought goes. Until next time, I'm Gregor. Thanks so much for watching.